Well, we always say retirement is a journey, one that you shouldn't have to navigate solo. So that is why every week here on The Right Path to Retirement, we turn to financial advisor Jimmy Lynn, certified financial planner and the founder of Right Path Wealth Management right here in Las Vegas. All right, Jimmy, let's dive in. You ready?
I'm ready to go.
All right. Well, I want to start today with addressing how different things can look on the surface versus what's actually going on behind the scenes. And that idea really came up for me when I watched a new documentary recently. It's 4 parts on investigation discovery. It's called Boy Band Confidential, right up my alley. It was actually produced by NSYNC's Joey Fatone, and it focused on the behind-the-scenes realities of that boy band craze of the 90s and early 2000s that the fans did not get to see. And what was so shocking to me, Jimmy, is the financial aspect for all of these guys in these boy bands. And Joey Fatone actually told Fox News that his finances collapsed. I want us to take a listen to this clip.
I started just kind of watching numbers just deplete quicker and quicker than normal. And I'm going, okay, this is not right. Oh my gosh, I bought this, I bought that. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I have all this stuff. And now it's like, your mortgage and your loan and everything that's going, you're not able to pay it anymore. So you start to go, okay, I need to look at all my finances. And I wasn't paying attention to what exactly is going on. Certain people in their lives were never really taught how to manage money and handle money. It takes an army. It really does. It takes a team to kind of really navigate through stuff. When you think you got it, I don't need anybody's help. Just a little bit wiser now.
I'm not sure if you are a Backstreet Boys or an NSYNC man, Jimmy, but my question is on this is when it comes to retirement planning, when do people usually break down when they try to do this alone? I had never really thought of that. You see somebody like Joey Fatone or somebody successful in a boy band and you think they're doing fine because they're making in all this money. But if no one's telling them how to use that money and how to put it away and how to set themselves up for success, then they can find themselves on the brink of financial collapse. So talk to us about your thoughts on this.
Right. Well, first off, Casey, I was a secret NSYNC fan.
Oh, okay.
It's no longer a secret now,
That's
I guess.
right. Now the whole world knows.
That's where I was aligned with.
It's out there. Okay. I respect that.
Yeah, but you know what? This really, it's like a story as old as time, as they say, right? Because whether it's a boy band or, what we hear a lot of are like professional athletes that at a young age come into a ton of money and all of a sudden, they just think they own the world and they could spend anything that they want. And as that clip showed, you could see those account values disappearing very quickly because it's just like you're just not making the right decisions.
I think the statistic for the professional athletes is like 60% go broke in the first 5 years of retiring.
Right.
Crazy.
And it's scary now because now college kids who are even younger can start making this insane amount of money.
Deals, right.
So I think it's really scary because we do only see from the outside, them at the biggest stages, whether it's performing in a concert or playing on the football field, and we see that part of their life, but we don't see the other end where they are just eroding as far as their finances. And one of the big points that I appreciated in that clip was the fact that he kind of illustrated that, a lot of people, they don't grow up with financial education. Mm-hmm. And I think that's more true than he even realizes is that, what I see every day is I work with people and they are at the highest levels of their professions. They could be medical professionals, business owners, executives at large companies, but if you don't live in the world of finance and financial planning, you just don't know what you don't know. And so most people, when they're doing it on their own, they're just, what do? Just save money, right? Just put money away. And if I see the digits in my account getting larger, I guess I can spend it. But that's not a real retirement plan. And that's where people get in trouble is that what they're doing is they're just focusing on the growth. They're not thinking about, income and taxes and asset preservation because we do live a long life. And we got to make sure that, if we have a short time frame that we're accumulating these assets, how do we make it last forever? And I'll tell you one story about somebody that doesn't fall into this. And I've heard in the news gets a lot of respect as far as financial savvy. Okay. Is Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal is in a bunch of different business ventures, educates himself all the time. And you'll see that, I've heard like Kenny Smith when they're on, I think the NBA on TNT. And he says all the time, Shaquille O'Neal, he acts like a goofball because that's his persona. but he's very, very savvy. And funny enough, one of the things, there's this clip that I've heard in the past where one of the things he recommends to professional athletes says, once you get that big contract, there's one thing that you need to get, and it is an annuity. It is an income annuity.
I've heard him say that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So the point of that is that it sounds like Shaq, has been educated by people that live in this world and are helping him understand, like, how do we make sure that we have a legacy, that what we've worked so hard for can last forever. And I think there's a lot of takeaways that we, us non-superstars can take away from this, because our retirements are no less important. We've worked hard, we've saved money, we've done the right things in that accumulation phase, but now we're going into retirement, and it's a whole nother ball of wax. We have to make sure we focus on income and tax minimization as best we can. And so those are a lot of things that we like to talk about with the clients that we work with.
I think Shaq needs to start doing some financial dinner seminars with the rookie class every single year. He needs to almost be that financial advisor to the whole rookie class.
He would probably have a large advisory firm just by that, because he's such a great personality that everyone would just sign up with him.
We're giving him new business ideas. He's got enough money. He doesn't need another business. But it's true.
I think he's doing okay.
I think he's doing okay too. But it's true. Sometimes we don't think about it. But high income earners can really sometimes be more at risk because they just assume that success means security in their finances. But that's not always the case, as we have talked about and we see time and time again.
Right. It gives you a false sense of security sometimes, because you have these assets and you just think, well, I guess, I'm going to keep growing my money. But also we have to realize that the more you have to lose.
Right.
And so it goes both ways. So that's what we see a lot. We work with a lot of high net worth clients at our firm that you'd just be surprised that they have the same issues and concerns that, maybe someone that just, worked as an accountant somewhere, saved a few $100,000 have. Like the numbers don't really change your emotion whether you have a few $100,000 or if you have a few $1 million, you still have the same concerns and issues. Sure. And I think that it's just making sure you have that plan in place.
Yeah.
But, if there's listeners out there that kind of want some, clarity on their situation, that's what we do on those phone calls, Casey. So we're happy to talk to anyone that wants to just get a little more insight in their situation. We can do that over the phone. Our number is 702-744-8344 if you want to get on my calendar.
That's going to do it for us this week here on The Right Path to Retirement. But Jimmy and I will be back next week with more retirement insight for Las Vegas. But until then, Jimmy, I'm going to hand it back over to you for the final word. Take us out today, my friend.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for listening in. And if you have any questions or if any of this is relevant to you, please do not hesitate to give us a call.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Right Path Wealth Management. Right Path Wealth Management is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Right Path Wealth Management are not subject to investment advisory requirements. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. Any reference to the protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing carrier. This radio podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It's not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decision, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Right Path Wealth Management is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Right Path Wealth Management.
Market Guard is a firm that provides investment signals as well as portfolio allocation recommendations, wide variety of model portfolios. Market Guard does not offer advice or enter into fiduciary relationships.